I'm going to get started. So welcome everyone. Please communicate with me throughout the session today through the question box. I'll be gathering those questions. Hopefully we'll have time to answer those during the call. I think I'll address a lot of questions throughout the call. Let me tell you how it's going to roll. I'm just going to come on camera really quick here and say hi to you guys. It's Kathy here. It's good to be here with you. Thank you for being here. I wish we could all come on camera and socialize and chat, and I think our heads would be about this big because there are a lot of us. I will tell you that we just had in my home office, our house here, we just had a 24-hour plus power outage. So I am sure that that means that there will be nothing that could possibly technically go wrong during today's call, right? That was my guarantee that I got that out of the system. However, if anything does go wrong, please just click on the link and come back into the meeting. And I really don't think anything's going to happen, but I just had to say that because we just got through a scare. So I'm going to go off camera. I don't know how presenters stay on camera for like 30 or 45 or 60 minutes. I would definitely do something very unintentional, but yet very embarrassing. So I'm just not willing to take that risk. So it's good to see you guys. I will be right here, but I am going to go off camera and we will focus on the task at hand. And that's the launch of our Kodak Professional Connect Solution. So I'm so glad that you're here and I get to share it with you. I will roll through a presentation here on screen that'll really give you the nuts and bolts and the whys and the how and the business model. I'm going to give you everything you need to know. By the end of the presentation, I'll upload a sell sheet that you can download and share with someone at the lab that maybe didn't make the presentation. I know our sales team, our account managers have been in contact already with some of you at the lab. I know they'll be following up with you. So Kodak Professional Connect is all the buzz, as it should be, because it coincides with our dp2 software release version 23.1, which means that dp2 is wired from a UI perspective with all the pieces and parts and functionality that you need to easily connect to this solution. So let me get started here and tell you what it's all about. We have been talking about Connect for a while. We've been sort of dribbling some information out there as we've been in design and development. We've worked with many of you. Thank you so much, as always, for helping us put together this solution based on our research with you and your feedback and your input. But let me start right here with the why of Connect. By the way, you guys have, I think it's a Zoom option at the top of your screen. You could make your screen a little bit larger manually if you need to. I'm running via a URL here if you need to make this view a little bit bigger, and then you can scroll down to get rid of my tabs that you probably see at the top of the screen. So, you have control to make my screen on your view a little bit bigger. But anyway, let me start with the heart of the matter, the why. And I know that this will not surprise you guys, but it's our mission here in our business unit, PPDS, it's always been our mission, it will always be our mission to connect more consumers with more professional output, and that means connecting more consumers to you guys. We feel better poised to continue to do that now with the recent announcement of the sale of our business unit. We are in a perfect position to continue to grow. This is just the beginning of this product and we're all very, very excited. So we really hope you guys are excited about what lies ahead as well and new opportunities. But Connect, I'm not going to read all my screens to you, but I am going to read this one to you. Connect does fill the gap, that gap between consumers and pro output with a first of its kind. It's a cloud-based centralized catalog. And it's all about facilitating multiple partnerships between online galleries and you guys around the world. So it's wired for both DP2 labs and non-DP2 labs. You guys as DP2 labs have a nice advantage because you have a nice wrapper around the API that makes it easy for you to connect. You don't have to be an API type technical person. And the real crux of it here, guys, is this. One integration. So one integration for each party. You guys and the online gallery connect once to the cloud catalog. I'll get into the details around that as I move through this presentation. One connection forms multiple partnerships. You can form a partnership with one online gallery. You can form a partnership with multiple online galleries. So that's the heart of it. We want to help you guys connect more pro output to more consumers. This is that gap. I like this slide. It talks more about the gap. I'm going to start here with consumers. You know, all of us on the call, we are very consumer centric people in this industry. We are always concerned with how can we meet the needs of the consumer. You guys are concerned with how can you enable your photographers to best meet the needs of their clients with the tools that you offer them. You guys do an amazing job of the your blogs and your education and your resources and your testimonials and all the stuff that you guys have on your websites and your learning opportunities. I commend you for all of it, because that educational gap, you know, for all of us to be in this together to educate consumers on the permanence of print versus the transient nature of a digital file that's here and gone, that will continue to be our jobs, right? And today's consumer, my gosh, right, especially now in this upside down world that we continue to live in, online experiences are even more important right now. Sharing with family and friends is even more important than ever right now, and that's not going to stop. I mean, that was the case before this upside down world, and that's just going to persist. So we know, I know you guys know, that it's important to reach consumers the way they want to be reached, with online, engaging, simplified shopping experiences. That's what online galleries are all about. That's what they do best. So if we all in this industry remain consumer centric and focused, I think we all find ways to win and reach them. From a photographer's perspective, they need us, they need you for the tools that enable them to reach a wider audience, to help their clients with their supplemental shopping experiences online, online shopping experiences that photographers extend to their clients, enable the photographer to reach those clients throughout the years, holidays throughout the year. Those online galleries allow the photographer to extend their reach to the friends and families of their clients. We all know, every one of us on this call knows the importance of an online shopping experience these days. And if we, as a team here, all of us together, can help extend the reach, then it's a real win for all of us. So here's the online galleries. They've been struggling. I'm not reading through all these, as you can tell. They've been struggling with keeping up with their integration lists. One-to-one integration lists cost a lot of time and a lot of money for these guys. Photographers are always asking them. We see it at shows. We talk to everybody at the shows, of course. We've talked to all the online galleries. Photographers are always asking them, hey, so-and-so, do you work with my favorite pro lab? Or do you work with my favorite pro lab? Commonly what their answer has to be is, well, not yet, but they're on our integration waiting list, and that hurts. You know, that delay or that pain point or that challenge is very real. And then for us, you know, you guys, as far as the pro lab, if you guys are on that waiting list, if you don't have your own API to integrate, then that's a real pain point and a challenge as well. So we're positioned right here, guys, between the online gallery and you guys as the print lab with the Connect solution, forming these relationships, allowing you guys to form these relationships easily through one integration in our Connect cloud catalog. And from where we sit, we feel if we can enable each and every one of you to best serve your photographers, to help them extend their reach, obviously extending your reach to consumers, then we all win. And the industry wins with this approach of reaching more consumers in the way, shape, and form that they want to be reached. So I just wanted to speak to the gap. It's a big one. it's not going away. It's going to continue to be all of our jobs to reach consumers and educate them around the permanence of print products and gain their attention with simplified, engaging shopping experiences. And that's what online galleries do so well. You know, we all play a part here, right? And that's why partnerships really do matter. Let me start to get into a little bit more of the technical aspects with this very simplified diagram. It's a very simple concept, guys, to understand and convey. So if anyone at the lab is not able to tune into this presentation, please share the information. Like I said, I'll be uploading that cell sheet that is a summary of everything here. But on the left-hand side here, from an online gallery perspective, they integrate one time. You'll probably be tired of hearing me say that. It's a one-time integration for each of you through our API. Very well supported and document. Many of you know that we have worked with and will continue to work with a worldwide cloud-based design team for our cloud solution, Connect, and the API on that side of the house. So they are a permanent part of this solution as we grow and move forward with the solution. And then of course on the dp2 side of the house, I'll be showing you guys how you choose products from the cloud portal. It's a very nice user interface. It's a very simple user interface. You start there and then you ingest those records that you want to fulfill. You ingest those into dp2 and do some mapping to your dp2 products. And again, as a dp2 lab, now with the release of version 23.1, you're at a great advantage to get started because of all the features and functions in dp2 that enable this connectivity. You know, and you might have seen this at the bottom of the screen. You can see my mouse circling here. This come up. I want to really emphasize to each of you that although it's a single centralized catalog, a connection point for you, it continues to be and will always be, and that's always been important to us in this design and development, a differentiated catalog for each of you and a securely differentiated catalog for each of you. You're the only one that can see your catalog offerings. You're the only one that can upload, your design layouts and templates and, modify your descriptions, upload your marketing images. So I just really need you to understand that even though it's a centralized location, it continues to be your very unique and differentiated catalog that only you can see, you and the online galleries, because it's important for them, as they're in the portal to see what types of products you guys fulfill and the options that you would like to offer clients to fulfill. But of course, keeping the option set in mind, we always have to be consumer centric and focused. The last thing they want in an online gallery is a complicated set of options to choose from, too many options to choose from. So, as you work with the online galleries, that you choose to work with, it's really a filtering down of your products and options that they are also able to display and integrate with as far as their front end solution is concerned versus perhaps someone else's online gallery. But I think it's always a simplified set of, especially product options when it comes to mounting and finishes and borders. And I mean, the last thing anyone ever wants to do is confuse a consumer during their shopping experience and encourage them to bail out because there's too many choices, so we always have to sort of keep what that online gallery experience is intended to be, a very simplified shopping experience. This is more of the what it does. Look at this. This gets really technical. You can see that moving through the cloud to the right lab. So this is where I call what we've done. I can't take credit out. You guys know me, I'm no developer, but I think it's an engineering feat what happens in Connect once both parties are integrated and once you've shaken, you've formed a relationship. I don't even know if that's the right word, but anyway, you've formed a relationship with the gallery or galleries that you choose to. Then you each have API keys that you use to, make that relationship unique. And make sure that orders get routed to you, the right lab. And that's all based on, the photographer that signs up. Maybe it's via your website because you're promoting your partnerships there. And when your photographers sign up on your website, well, you are automatically, in that case, the right default lab because they're accessing the gallery through you via that partnership. So it's all done. It all gets to the right lab, to the right place. That's why we call it this translational database and this very intelligent decoder ring to successfully communicate orders from any online gallery to any lab, but it's certainly based on your relationship with that particular online gallery. And then any photographer that signs up with that online gallery, either you are already the default lab, or perhaps they've signed up with the online gallery through the online galleries portal and website, and you are listed as one of the lab fulfillers, wonderful. So there's going to be a couple of ways for photographers to choose you as that ultimate preferred fulfiller, because we know how important photographers, their relationship with you are. They want to be and remain very loyal to you, and that's why they want you to be offering these types of opportunities for them, these tool sets, online galleries, so that they can not only better serve their clients, but they can remain loyal to you as their favorite pro lab as well. So who's it for? Well, we think everybody, every type of online gallery. It's wired for portrait, wedding work, volume work. It's wired for both dp2 labs and non-dp2 labs. Non-dp2 labs, though, they don't have a nice wrapper in dp2 where they can do their mapping and their ingestion of the catalog, so they have to integrate with an API. So a non-dp2 lab needs more of an API technical staff to be on hand, but it's still the same win in the end, where it's one connection and the opportunity for multiple partnerships. So how you guys doing there? I haven't seen any questions roll in, so let me just ask you for, if you want to give me, is this making sense so far? Are you following along so far? I haven't gotten to the business model yet. Of course, I'm saving the best part for last, but you guys feel like giving me a hand raise to let me know that you're doing okay and following along, or else I would expect to see some questions. Maybe I haven't answered them yet and you're just sort of waiting too for the information, but thank you for that, guys. I appreciate those confirmations and hand raises coming in. That helps me sort of communicate with you guys throughout. Here's a peek inside the pretty, I was called a pretty portal. I think it's very nice. It's I'll take you there live. That's the other URL I have open here in this presentation. This is where you go to sign up for an account. Once you have an account, this is where you pick and choose the products that you want to fulfill. Ultimately, partnering with an online gallery for them to present on a front end side of their solution. It's a really simple interface, as you'll see. You'll pick and choose sizes. You'll pick and choose, in many of these cases here, paper types, finishes, borders, whatever is appropriate for that product category. What you're going to see today in the catalog, guys, is our sort of base set offerings, all the ones that you see here, plus a few more. This is not a scrollable screen, so I can't get to them yet. But I'll tell you that our cloud team, this is exciting. They are currently working on about 40 more new product categories to prepare us for the volume side of the house. So we'll see memory mates and trader cards and statuettes and buttons and plaques, and the list goes on and on and on. And again, I will emphasize that even though this is a centralized catalog, it's very unique to you, very differentiated based on your product offerings. You're the only one that sees your product offerings in the cloud. It's you and the online galleries. So it's not a lab to lab interface to see what other products are being offered by other labs and what those look like. This, what you see here, is more of a generic, type of offering. But what that ultimately, I mean, a lot of these are very generic anyway. Obviously, these are just like one-up simple products, where these aren't even getting into the complex, like multiple nodes, multiple text nodes, memory mates, trader cards, and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it will continue to be a very differentiated catalog for each of you. Here's a look at the relationship screen, right? I've talked about forming relationships, you with the galleries with you. You guys request partnerships within the portal, but certainly you probably have conversations together outside of the portal. You probably already have galleries, guys, that you're interested in connecting with. Maybe you're on a waiting list already of some galleries. I will tell you that we've integrated with Simple Photo. They were a part of our beta testing, so Simple Photo is integrated. And now we are at a point, because of the release of dp2 version 23.1, where we're ready for you guys to get into the pool and into the mix. And if you do have a potential partnership with a gallery that's not in Connect, and they wouldn't be in Connect yet because we're just opening up this side of the house to you guys right now, but we could get them going simultaneously too. And most of the galleries that you're interested in partnering with and you've already been speaking with, they know about Connect. We've spoken with them about Connect. They're always interested in what labs are in the Connect world, and labs are always interested in what online galleries are in the Connect world, and we're there now. So we're at a point, again, where Simple Photo is integrated. We want to get you guys integrated, those of you who are interested in integrating, and we'll build up the Connect relationships in that manner and in that way. So that's just a snapshot of the relationship screen. This one looks like from an online gallery perspective. This is also a snapshot in the portal. So once you do have some relationships, you'll see activity, month-over-month activity, year-to-date activity by orders and types of orders, order statuses. If you have multiple relationships, guys, with 3, 4 different online galleries, you'll see that breakdown of order volume by gallery. You'll also see order breakdown by product category, inkjets, photo prints, gallery wraps. So there's some cool reporting information for you inside of that portal as well. All the user documentation and API documentation for the online gallery is in there as well. And I'll leave you with this view of dp2. I'm going to take you, I think I mentioned it, I hope I mentioned it in the beginning. After this online part of the presentation, I'll take you to the live portal, and then I'm going to take you into version 23.1 and just leave you with these views in a little bit more detail, in a little bit further, just a deeper dive into it. This is dp2. You might not recognize this screen. It's new to the Connect world inside of dp2. It's our audit report, our verification report. It's really cool. It's nice and colorful and visual, and it gives you an immediate indication if any of your mappings are missing. Are your SKUs there? Although they're not, depending on how you feed your business system, they may or may not be tied to your dp2 product. Whether your options, your product options have been mapped. So I'll show you the tables that you use for mapping, and then as long as I remember, I'll sort of end it by bringing up this audit and verification report again. So let's get into the business model. We're excited to share this part with you. Thank you to all of you who helped us get to this model. We've spoken with you. we've spoken with online galleries. Our goal was to present you with something that's very fair and very reasonable when it comes to the business model around Connect. We believe that the benefits to both you guys and galleries are huge, from extending your reach, enabling your photographers with these tool sets, getting ultimately to more consumers. From a dp2 perspective, you don't have integration costs or needed IT resources from an API perspective. This is why online galleries are so excited about Connect, because they don't have to put you on that waiting list anymore. Because really what they're doing, I think you know this too, is they are giving integration preference to labs that have APIs, because those are easier for them and faster to integrate with. So being that you're a dp2 lab, and although it's API under the hood, you've got dp2 as your database and UI wrapper that makes it easy. Drag and drop products to map with what you've selected in the cloud catalog, and you're good to go. I mean, I'm oversimplifying it a little bit, but not very much, actually. And if if you're a lab that, you guys know this better than we do, and we've talked with a couple of you about it. If you do have your own API and you are integrated with online galleries, we've spoken to you about perhaps the benefits of switching over to the Connect integration portal because of your ongoing costs and maintenance costs of maintaining those API integrations. So that's something for you to determine. So this really lays it out in a nutshell for you guys. We did go with a one-time setup and startup fee, and we know it's a very fair price from a setup fee. It's because we know what online galleries do charge. We know what they charge perhaps year over year. There's a lot of different pricing models out there, of course, as you might know too. So that's why we're happy with this one-time startup fee. Nothing on an annual basis. It gets you all the training and support and documentation, and we're dedicated to helping you guys one-on-one with your setup effort. I mean, it's not a no-brainer, but it's also not very complicated, especially for those of you guys that do know dp2. It might be a little bit more complicated for someone at the lab that doesn't know dp2 and tables and relationships and records. We know that that's always a little bit of a challenge for new people at the lab, but so that would make it slightly more challenging. When you guys sign up at kproconnect.com, that's the URL, kproconnect.com. There's a sign up there. That'll put you in our queue, and then we can speak with you, one-off about time frame and how many sessions it might take us together to onboard. And also, let me mention this because it reminds me now, don't let this webinar be your be-all, end-all to even making the decision. If you would like to be a part of Connect, please let me know, let your account manager know. Let's have a one-off meeting with people at the lab that we need to speak with. So don't let this be your only decision maker here. But if it is, great. But if you need more information and more of a bird's eye look or more information before you sign up, that's fine too. But that sign up does, again, allow you to get in our queue, put you on our onboarding schedule. And then you've seen this on this side of the house, I'm sure. It's very reasonable per order transaction fee, especially on the volume side of the house. There's some estimates down here that we think, depending on how many partnerships you engage with, you form with online galleries, it's all additive, right? It's not on an online gallery by online gallery basis that you're getting hit with this transaction fee. It's a cumulative effort. So if you're partnered with a volume gallery, you're partnered with a portrait wedding gallery, you're partnered with maybe a third gallery, it's all part of this volume for you, is all of the orders coming through collectively from those partnerships, which we think based on again, the conversations that we've had with you. Thank you to you guys who have helped us with this model. Thanks to the online galleries that have helped us with this model. And, you know, we certainly think it's a good model. We certainly think it's fair. And we certainly think that you guys hope the same thing. But, you know, of course, we can have conversations around that as well. So I'm going to switch gears here. I did have a question coming in. Give me a second. I'm just looking over at my other monitor here. Will we be able to upload our existing dp2 products, or will we need to build them again through this interface? Excellent question. No, you'll be able to build them. I mean, for the simple products that just require one image node, you know, like your photo prints and your metals and your gallery wraps, nothing needs to be built, you know, whatsoever. You just need to map those to your existing gallery wrap and print products in dp2, because that print product in dp2, of course, has all the output to the right queue and, you know, everything you might need there. From a more complex product perspective, like your greeting cards and your memory mates and your plaques or any multi-node products, yes, you're going to upload those right into Connect. So in our Connect world, and I don't have those types of well, I have greeting cards in there. So from a greeting card perspective, you would integrate with like greeting card like number 1 or greeting card number 2, greeting card number 3, and whatever that is for you becomes whatever it is for you, right? Just part of your catalog. And what the online galleries are really excited about is that they integrate. I don't even know how. Here, this proves I'm not a programmer. I've been working with this solution for a year now, and it's still magic to me. So thank you to all you programmers out there for all your magic. But what's really exciting is the online gallery integrates once with that product, like once with this type of greeting card, or once with the memory mate, or once with the trader card. And then for those of you who have 3 nodes, their integration is done. For those of you that have 4 nodes, their integration is done. For those of you who have 7 nodes, their integration is done. So it's a great feat. I think it's a great programmatic engineering feat. So thank you for that question. Keep those questions rolling in. I'm just going to check on our time too. Good, we're doing good on time. So this is the Connect portal. So again, the URL is kproconnect.com. When you do sign up for an account, guys, that comes to us. There's a few of us, myself, Guy Smith, Dave Shelp. We are administrators of the system, so we get your request. Again, we'd love to put you on our onboarding schedule, and then we would approve the account, and then you would have access into this portal, and you would be picking and choosing from product categories. I'll give you at least a little taste into this. This blue dot next to my thin wraps here on the sides indicates that that was one of my product categories that I had not completed the setup. So I'll walk through. There's a couple of some products have sub options like this. Some products like photo prints don't, but you'll get to know the interface really easily. It's a guided tour, so it's very nice to be able to sort of step through the setup one tab at a time. I'll just hit continue. That takes me to the size category. You know, you can deselect. We just put them, a couple of reasons we did size groupings, potentially to make your billing codes a little bit easier, but if you don't do your billing codes that way, we're not really out to change the way you do it, unless maybe it's an opportunity to change the way you do it if you want to, but we're really not out to do that. But also it makes it easier for you to, you know, sort of differentiate with your eyes sizes and easily, you know, perhaps deselect and then select some individually. So, and we as administrators, I thought I'd mention this too, we have control of adding options that don't exist, adding sizes that don't exist. So we're excited to be able to work with you based on your product needs, your options needs, your sizes needs, and we have total control over making those additions very efficiently in the system. it's really easy here, guys. And this is the first step of 2. So I'm showing you what you would first do as a dp2 Connect lab once you have your lab account, and once we've set you up in our system and we've worked with you. We'll you know, spend time one-on-one together walking you through this. You may, you know, or may not. This has a limited, for thin wraps, has a limited set of paper option choices, but you know, for photo prints there's silk and matte and glossy. But you know, from an online gallery perspective, you may just offer maybe luster and metallic. So you know, you can select as many options as you need in here. But again, I think it's always you're sort of simplifying your offerings for those online gallery front facing solutions. And if there's options that aren't here that you need, because not just because you fulfill them, I mean, you guys fulfill a lot of different options and a lot of different products, but you have to think about what you're going to be offering clients, consumers, through online galleries. And that's where it might be, and probably is, a much more limited set of products and options. So just keeping that in mind. A couple of finishing options for thin wraps here, a couple of mounting options. But again, you know, I work with many different galleries, and in many cases, as a consumer, we're not given options. You know, if we order a thin wrap, it's going to be a thin wrap, and it's going to be, you know, an easel, or you know, there's not in every case a lot of options presented to the consumer, but these could be the breadth of your offerings and options as you're working with different online galleries who may, in the end, offer consumers a couple more choices. So anyway, I hope you can see, you know, just from this UI, how easy it could be to step through. It would be the same process. It's a guided tour, guys, so you can't, you know, you really can't go wrong. It's really easy to work in here. That's the relationship screen you saw before. Here's the dashboard that would show, you know, your month-over-month orders, and once you do have partnerships, you'd get those circle charts showing you who your orders are ultimately coming from. And then what you do from here, guys, is you publish. You publish the catalog to the cloud. And then dp2 comes in. So I'm going to leave you with the dp2 side of the house. In dp2 version 23.1, you have a KPro Connect taskbar. So don't forget to load your tasks and macros, something that after all these years I still forget to do. And I call one of the engineers and I say, why don't I see that? And they're like, really, Kathy? And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Anyway, there's a simple KPro Connect taskbar. You've got your manager that makes the connection to the cloud server. You have to run the manager to receive orders when you're in an order situation. It's very worker dependent. The workers receive orders, and then normal things in dp2 happen. And that's how we ingest the cloud catalog too, guys, is you would start here in dp2. I already have it in our catalog table. There's a KPro Connect. You would queue the catalog for download. Oh, good. Someone reminded me that loading tasks and macros should happen automatically. Maybe that's been an enhancement I don't know about, or maybe that's an enhancement is that an enhancement you're requesting, or is that an okay, thanks. I would have felt really bad if I didn't know about that one, but not really, because it happens to me all the time. You guys tell me lots of stuff about dp2 that I never knew. So thank you very much, Jerson. I appreciate that. I'm cracking up. So yes, you would queue the catalog for download, and the worker would, you know, get that XML file and insert records into the database. And then you would do stuff like this. So here's the catalog. These are all the records that came in from KPro Connect. And then these would be the fields that you'd want to consider in your mapping process. So here, let me cancel this. I think I was working with this before I started this session. So look at this one. It's a 10 by 10 gallery wrap. Here's my 10 by 10 gallery wrap. I'll bring that up and drop it. So it's this drag and drop scenario. You guys can add your business, your product SKUs, your business codes here. We have a place for these overrides, which is really like an override script, but in the K-Pro Connect world, that basically allows our development team to help you customize what needs to happen based on these products coming in from KPX. You can tag your order prefixes with KPX. Let's see what else I can show you in here quickly, guys. All your options, this is really cool. All your options come in from KPX. That's our, you know what, I should have mentioned this to you guys because some of you asked it right away and I totally meant to. So it's a little late in the game, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You know, Connect is our go-to-market name for GCS, Grand Central Station. So I just saw it in my notes. I was supposed to say that very first off. So if anyone's ever wondering what happened to that one project those guys were working on, see, we'll never stop working on these projects, right? But it's the same one. Grand Central Station is the same project as K-Pro Connect. So these options that you select in K-Pro Connect, you'll ingest into dp2. And what's really cool is the developers put in actions that allow you to just simply create the matching dp2 options and dp2 choices. So it'll just populate these columns. But you might have your own dp2 options and choices in dp2 because you may have built those up for another system that you're integrated with, and those choices have respective billing codes. So you might not want us to automatically populate this. If you need us to populate it, it's a good thing. If you don't need us to, then you'll just create mappings to your own options and choices. So we think it's pretty slick and we think it's pretty cool. And we're here to help you with the effort. I am going to bring up, as I said I would, oh, you know what I'm going to do, guys, because it's going to take about 30 seconds to load. I'm going right now, you probably can't see me do it, but I'm uploading a handout. It's a cell sheet. It'll appear in your, I have a progress bar and it's only at like 10% right now. So in about 15 or 20 seconds, you'll see a handout called Connect Cell Sheet 2020. You can go ahead and download that. It's a PDF file. Like I said, if you need to share it with anyone in the lab, print it out for your reference, have a talking point with anyone at the lab or with your sales manager, one of our, someone on our team to have a conversation with. I think that's probably there now for you. So let me sort of wrap this up by bringing up that verification report. It'll look like the one that I showed you in my online presentation. It'll take a second to load that here. I think it takes a second longer because of our communication through this webinar. But once you ingest the catalog, once you do your mapping, you'll use this verification and audit report along the way to say, oh yeah, I forgot to add that, or I forgot to add this. You've got some hot links to errors that we'll tell you about in here. And then once everything is set up, guys, you can, from the portal that I just showed you, the Connect portal, you can send test orders, and you'll get a test order tied to a particular customer account that sends those jobs in, those products via, jobs coming into dp2 with all the options that you've enabled for those. So we think the testing is going to be pretty easy for you. And then of course, once you have a handshake established with an online gallery, you'll be testing directly through their front end and their solution as well. So that brings us, guys, to 2:45. Before anyone has to jump off, if you have to get to another meeting, I want to thank you first and foremost for taking the time to join us today. And we're so happy to share this information with you. We'd love you to get on 23.1 for Connect, and we'd love you to get on 23.1 just so that you're in line with our development team and support team too. You guys know that this might be your opportunity to upgrade to our latest build. If anything happens during your busy season, or if anything happens at all, the first question we ask you is, hey, what version are you on? And sometimes that becomes a friction and pain point if we have to get you up to the latest build so that we can get you out of a little, you know, a little glitch or out of a little trouble. So we'd love you on 23.1 for a couple of different reasons. So do you guys have any questions? I've been still monitoring the question box. You guys have been a little bit engaging there, so thank you. If anyone wants to raise your hand, I can open up your phone line so that we can actually communicate. Let me see, did someone raise it? That would be cool if you did, but it's okay if you don't. Let me just make sure I'm looking at my full list here. Hey, I do have a hand raise. Let me open up your phone line. Truly, if you meant to do that, I opened up your phone line on my end. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Oh, good, thanks. It's good to hear your voice.
Likewise. Our invitation is still standing, so we hope to pick us up on that offer sometime once this settles down.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I'd love to come see you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I have a couple quick questions. One is, do you have a list of galleries that are already connected to Connect?
Yeah, right now, truly, it is just Simple Photo. Simple Photo is the only gallery that's currently connected. So they were part of our beta test. And then we thought the first thing we do to start, you know, building up the system is coincide this announcement and release of Connect with our version 23.1 release. So we think how perhaps the other galleries will start to integrate with the API is probably through, in addition to your integrations, because you may already have one of these galleries in mind that you're sort of waiting to connect with. I mean, that might not be the way that those galleries first sign up and join, but that's what we're thinking is the first galleries that might continue to come on after Simple Photo are ones that you guys are sort of been waiting in the wings to integrate with, but not necessarily. But to answer your question right now, truly, Simple Photo is the only online gallery that's integrated at the moment.
Got it. Thank you. And my last question is, how does it work with profiles or file formats and color management for Connect? Like, are they limited to specific file formats? And do you know anything about color management there?
You mean like would the online gallery be able to pass through any sort of instruction or for color management? And like would that be an order option?
Like you know, typically galleries, or like with our site, we require certain resolution, certain color space, sRGB, right. And you know, JPEGs or TIFFs. How is that going to work with this system?
Well, I think they will. I think the front end solution, the online gallery, will still play their part of letting the consumer know whether that image, whether the image for this particular product, you know, they're working with their images that their, you know, photographer has uploaded for them. It'll be the online gallery's continued job to inform the consumer if that image is not high enough resolution. And I think the formats we're just a pass through. Truly, it's a good question and something we can follow up on directly or with Bob. But I think from just a pass through perspective, you know, whatever formats they're working with, we're going to pass that format through to you.
All right. Thank you.
Sure, but let's, you know, I know that doesn't necessarily be, you know, be the end all, be all end all there, so we can follow up. Hey, Bob, I'm going to open up your line, Bob. How are you? Did you want me to open up your phone line, Bob?
No, I had my hand raised when you asked for it to be raised. I forgot to put it down.
No, I forgot to put you down, but it's good to hear your voice. And I just mentioned you anyway, speaking with Julie. So
Yep, not a problem.
thank you. Hey, Yuji, I opened up your phone line if you wanted to ask a question. Or that could have been my miss too. So I hate to put anybody on the spot if that wasn't really your intention. So I apologize if that's the case. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging in there. There's going to be a survey at the end of this webinar, and that's an opportunity for your open-ended ask anything type questions, and we can get back to you on those on a one-on-one basis. Please continue to ask your questions. Please continue to reach out for more help and information. If we didn't reach the right players to make this Connect decision on this call today, we'd be happy to schedule some one-off, one-on-one time so that we can reach some of the decision makers around the Connect solution, and we'd love to have you guys participate. So thank you so much, you guys, for your time. I sincerely appreciate it.